Oh, bit close. There we go. How do all on this very fine but bloody hot summer's day. So I hope everyone is well and feeling good and in a great mood because the thunderstorms are on their way. Yes! Brilliant stuff. So I cooled down. Crikey. I went out to get the kids from school this afternoon, and it was showing on the van's temperature gauge that it was 39.5, and that for me is way too hot. I don't mind a bit of heat, but I can't say as I'm a keen lover of heat. But last night it was like sleeping in a bloody clay oven, a kiln. It was the most uncomfortable night. I'm just hoping that I don't have another night like it. I've already pre-warned my neighbour that if he hears any rustling noises outside in the front, it'll be me. Because if it rains, I'm going out there. Anyway, that's enough of that. Now, one thing I've noticed with this horrendous kit is the fact that this is the landing gear. Now, I've made up the landing gear. All the black stuff is the glues that's on the landing gear. But the worst of it is this landing gear leg, because look at the size of that. So when you put the wheels on, it resembles more of a kid's go-kart than a landing gear assembly. It's just, you know, I don't know. I've got a good friend, and I won't say much about what he's got going ahead, but when he went out to 3D scan a real aeroplane, they take measurements. I mean, did this geezer get this mixed up with some sort of wheelbarrow? Because, I mean, it's actually way too wide. The wheels, in all honesty, should sit here. So when you consider all of that, it's got to come off in order for them to sit right. So they should sit there. Right? And as you can see that sticking out the other side of the tyre. So I don't know what Revell were thinking when they made this landing gear leg, but this one definitely is not right. Definitely not right. You know, it's I'm still yet to paint it, but yeah. And I thought at first I thought, no, it can't be right. Maybe it's me. Maybe I don't know. So I tried looking at pictures on the internet because I haven't got my files here, and I couldn't really get any good pictures, but they weren't showing it that wide. And so what it was I got the trumpeter kit out and I measured this up against the trumpeter kit, and my God, this is massive. That is just way too wide. So I need to chop these down and move it inwards and run a brass rod through the centre of that axle, and then I can put the wheels on. The wheels are a bit naff actually, because you get the fronts like that and the backs are like that, but there's no tread. It's smooth. So I mean, yeah, you do have smooth, but this is one I was toying with in the rears. So I decided to put some green tape and see if I could do the tread patterning, but I really do need some decent pictures of whatever the tread looks like, because I haven't got a clue. And this one was a bit out of shape, because when I stuck it together I lined these up, and as you can see they're perfectly in line, but the wheel isn't. So the wheel was out of shape, so whether I needed to spin it all the way around again, I don't know. Yeah, so the main undercarriage, which Nigel was looking at, and he's basically put a rod, I think, through there into the floor. And I thought, well, yeah, but when I stuck mine in, they do actually sit pretty tight and pretty snug fit just on these two lugs here. And then this one goes into the floor and that one goes in the front. That doesn't actually do anything. That does. It stops it going that way. Yeah, they're a little bit, you know, they're not as detailed as the Academy kit landing gear. They are quite detailed. But these ones are a bit, how can I put it? Pants, I think is the word I'm looking for. Hang on, I just got to knock the old brow here. Bloody hell, it's just ridiculous. You've got those lot screaming in the background, and I'm melting here behind this screen. There's hardly any wind, and I don't know, 7 of us in a 2-bed flat. Work that one out. So that's the wheels. Again, the other thing was this piece here, and it sits like that, and this piece here glues onto this piece here, and there's supposed to be, I don't know, a rod sticking out, but when I looked, the rod stuck out and it wasn't attached to anything, yet it shows it attaching to this. So then I put it again, this is all dry fit, attached it again on where these little pegs are into the holes in the back of this, and none of it lined up. And this is supposed to operate the front wheel doors. So I thought, well, what's going on here then? So I chopped the lug off, glued it to there in its correct place, and now it sits where all I've got to do is just get a bit of sandpaper and flatten that edge, and now it sits on the side where it should go, but it just looks completely flat now instead of. But again, I don't have any good pictures of them. All my reference materials are all stuck away in a garage and a lockup and in boxes. So until I go back, until I get them all out when I get to my new place, whenever that is. Christ, I'm hoping it ain't going to be another year stuck in this hole. But anyway, so yeah, so I did that. Then the other thing as well was we had this thing here that goes by the arrestor hook, and it's some sort of airflow director which pushes the airflow over the arrestor hook. So when it came, it had that much on it in the kit, and it needs to be about there. So it needs to be about 2 or 3 mil, and it didn't have very much at all. It just had about 2 mil. So I needed to add. So I got a piece of airflow strip, and yeah, just waiting for that to set. So that's it. So there we are. So that's the wheels, and there's the canopy. I managed to get this all done eventually. This was a pain in the arse, this thing in here, because it kept breaking. That bar, as you can see, it fractured here somewhere. Yeah, there, and it just wouldn't behave itself. But I glued all of this framing together outside of the canopy itself, and then I did the mirrors. Don't know whether you can see that, but the mirrors are done with a monochrome pen, and then I just painted the outside and then put the guys' names on to the jet, and yeah, and there it is. And then I put a slight tint to the canopy, so it's got like a slightly yellowy green tint. This is more of a different tint. The rear is more of a greeny yellow tint than the front. So yeah, I did that, and then I noticed on the real thing as well that it had a yellow tint on the front screen, so I put kind of a little tint on that. This is the joystick. You'll have to excuse the noise in the background. The sassy ones come out the bloody bath, a bit like getting out the wrong side of the bed. So there's the control column, and it's got like a couple of buttons there. Again, I haven't got any reference pics to see how good to its word it is. So yeah, and there we go. So that's all those bits. So I bet you're wondering, well, How far have I got? Right, because of the heat and stuff, I haven't been able to do much in the way of spraying and what have you, so it's kind of played a part, this weather, so I haven't been able to do much other than early in the morning. So what I have done is I've got it this far. So I'll go from the nose. So thanks to Kai Walter about the information to do with the gun, because I had it all smoky dirty around here, and actually they're pretty clean, even when they have been on a bad mission and fired the gun at loads of stuff. So I got that done. I cleaned that up. I made it a new coloured nose cone. The top of the pizza box there, or the IFF, it is like a grey like this, but at a period of time it gets weathered and it goes lighter. So I've taken the darkness away from that. Still kept, as you can see, I've yellowed the canopy a bit. I've got the main decals on. I've just got to put all the other stencils now. Put the crew ladder on today. I mean, that was a major mission to get that all sorted again. I had to look on the internet to see how it all went together. So I've just got to paint this bit here silver, because that's an arm. Now, the other thing, these holes are all wrong, but I can't be asked to start making a new plastic rod and drilling bloody new holes. So I thought, right, I'll leave it as it is. But there's a panel here with a little lump, so I presume it's some sort of locking mechanism when it folds up and when it undoes. And then you've just got to add the two latches, in which case one's come off, the other one's still on. Then there's the tanks with the skull and crossbones on it, along with the fleur pod as well. And then you've got the wing pylons, which these aren't fixed. This middle one's fixed, but these two outer ones aren't at the moment. Same with the wing and the wing hinge. That all comes off at the moment. So I've not finalised glued anything. I've kept it all off so I can get around to it. There's the tail. Managed to get the I don't know, that red thing, whatever that is, on there. It's gone. Again, I put the clear lights on. These I've got to just redo with the white pen. The formation lights are all sprayed on, mixed up the colour for that. So let's look at the side. The engines, oh, there goes one of the pylons. The engines, there, let's put that right out of the way. Again, I did those the other day. Oh, it's having the room, isn't it? Having the room. So, I got those done. And these are all cut separately, so I can put them in here. And there's no real scorching marks or anything down the inside. It's just what it is. Decided to decorate the turkey feathers a bit, as you can see, so they're not, they're not the same. And then we've got the underside. So this is pretty much as is. So I've done these with one of these. There you go. And basically, when you take the tip off, they're nice and sharp, and you just dot 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 dot, and then just go like that with a sponge or a rag or a cotton bud or a Q-piece or whatever you call it. And and that gives you the lines, the streaking on that. And then there's the two tanks on that side, then the wheelbase. Wheelbase on your back are pretty boring. I don't know whether there's any airs update stuff for the rear bays, but they wouldn't go amiss if there was to put them in there, if they could fit in there. And the front bay, he's a little bit busy, but he's not too busy. And then up the front with the aerial and what have you, and these other little panels here. So he's pretty oh, there goes a wingtip. So he's pretty weathered up. I'm not going to do any more weathering than that. It was mainly to try and the weathering around the back here, but to try and disguise where I cut these out. And the best I could get it really is it's the best job on a piss poor model. The cockpit as well is another thing. You know, there's nothing in there at the moment. There's no transfers. I haven't put anything in there. Just left it as is. There's the outer wing there. So yeah, and then the 2 foot panel marks, and there she is. So that's her. Yeah, it's definitely a trying kit. I know there's a couple of subscribers that have emailed us and they're about to start it. I also had one guy on Instagram who said that, you know, commenting on it, and then I said to him, I don't want to put you off, but if you want to take a look at my YouTube video, you'll find out where the difficult parts are. And I gave Nigel's YouTube channel out as well, to say to him basically, you know, Nigel's going to show you how to fix things, and I'll just show you how my build's going, and what I've done to it. So yeah, oh dear, I tell you, this heat is just unbelievable. It really is. So yeah, so that's where we're at, and I have noticed, and I've noticed it again just now. I don't think you can quite see it, but I don't know. I wonder. Let's have a look. In the canopy here, going all the way down here, I can see them spreading round. There's loads of fracture lines. I don't know why. You can't see them head on if you look on there, but when you look to one side and you catch the light right, you can see the little glinting vents that are in the middle of the glass, and it just looks like it's fractured all round. So not a lot I can do about that. I mean, I'm definitely not going to start cutting that off and getting new bits from Revell, and as it is, I'm still waiting for Revell's parts to replace what's not there and what's been damaged, and yeah, I'm still waiting for those. So when they're going to turn up, I don't know, because it's been about 3 or 4 weeks now since I spoke to the girl that works there. So yeah, but that's where we are. That's what I've done. I don't know whether I could have done any better. I mean, knowing what I know now on this kit, if I'm honest with all of you, I don't think I'd go down the shop and buy it. It's a waste of 70 quid, 60 quid, whatever it's going for. It's taken far too much time to build. There's a lot of corrections, a lot of, you know, I mean, just look at the back end. I mean, you know, I've never seen a Hornet with gaps like that in the back. This section here needs to be a bit fatter, and the ends of these pieces are smaller than these pieces, and those pieces are smaller than this. So what they could have done was beefed it up a bit here, because this is where you got the sinkage. It's sinking there, it sinks there. It needs to be blow it out a bit. It doesn't cut in as much as that either. It's sort of pretty square, right? It follows that curve there on the tailplane rather than it comes in. It's a bit like the Eurofighter Typhoon that Trumpeter did. That was a terrible kit, because everybody thought that the jets on the back had been put in upside down. And why is Siri going off?
Interesting question.
It is, isn't it? You know, I'll tell you, this Siri business. Who turned him on? Go away, Siri, or whatever your name is. I can't get.
Okay.
That's it, he's gone. Mad. Oh, I've had a bit of a mad day anyway. So, right, anyway, so without further ado, that's where I'm at now. I've got it all, sprayed up. It's weathered. I've only got to stick the stencils on. And then once I've done that, I'm going to try and see if I can get that landing gear to work. Hoping I can. But that front landing gear does look a bit shabby. It's, if you're wondering, there's the top version of that wing. It's all weathered. And I've got the missiles to do as well. So I've got all the rockets and bombs to go on it. So yeah, so anyway, that's that. So there it is. And my final word on it is, knowing what I know now, I wouldn't buy it. I just would not buy it. It's a terrible kit. I'm going to say no more because the others will say it for me. So, like I say, Nigel's already getting on with it. Yeah, it's just a shame really because it is a nice looking bird, but it's got mistakes. I think the cockpit could have been a lot better, especially for something that was this price and the size of it, because you can see more. They always say, like, the bigger you get, the more detail you can fit in. Well, why don't you? Instead of us having to pay another 40, 50 quid for a bloody cockpit, come on, make the standard kit a decent kit. You don't have to charge the earth for it. It comes when you're going to do the damn thing, You go out and photograph the real thing or scan the real thing, whatever. I mean, even down to the fact that the gun at the front isn't a bloody abortion, because it's just all, it's the, in order to get, I'll show you, right, in order to get that gun to look right, yeah, that really needs taken out and a brand new one fitted in, but that comes as part of the bodywork, so yeah, it's just all melted and bloody ruined. So anyway, enough, that's it. Not going to say another word about it, but what I am going to say now is I don't know how you do it, you lot. I don't know how you find me on YouTube or what I'm doing to please you, but if you're passing the word round, I went from 549 subs at the beginning of last week, up to about 602 when I looked this morning. Fantastic, great. Thanks a lot. Thanks for all the new subscribers. Welcome on board. This is what I do. Although normally when I'm doing this kind of thing, it's the progress is a bit quicker. But yeah, I can't believe I'm well chuffed. 602 subscribers. It went up and down and up and down and up and down, and suddenly it just went straight up. And yeah, it seems to be climbing and climbing. I know there was a guy that I can't remember who it was. I think it was Ralph. And hello, Ralph. And he said that I deserved more subscribers. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I just do what I do. If eventually I can make a bit of money doing this, and it gets me, I don't know, a few tins of paint and a few pots of glue and maybe a couple of new tools, blinding. But the whole idea of doing it wasn't for the money. It was for the enjoyment out of me teaching you lot little tips and tricks I've picked up over the time, and so that maybe, hopefully, your model will end up, like what mine do. My background's always been in aviation. I've worked with aircraft all my working days up until when COVID hit, and I got made redundant in March 19. That was the demise of it. So yeah, I'm not an engineer, but I used to be a refueler. I did work in an engineering section in landing gear for a company many moons ago, which I enjoyed, but 9/11 super paid to that, so all the work stopped, and me and 3 others had to go. So we were laid off. That was my first laying off. But yeah, so yeah, I mean it's brilliant. 602 subs. Thanks very much, guys and girls, because I didn't know there's a percentage of girls that watch this. So yeah, thank you very much, and thanks for all your kind comments on this and on other things. You're all beautiful people, and you deserve to learn about things like this. We get the best of weathering skills and building models. I mean, you know, it's yeah, that's what I'm here for. So without further ado, I'm rattle on, as my missus says. You know, rattle on. Cheeky cow. So what I will say is thanks very much for looking on in. This is going to be finished. We're getting close now. Like I say, all I'm waiting is for these bits to turn up. When they do, we'll get it sorted. And yeah, but in the meantime, I'll keep you posted. So it's goodbye from me, it's goodbye from him, and we'll see you in the next one. Taddy boys, take care all, mind that son.